Well, I have a feeling that people who lose their hearing are the last ones to know. And frequently it's your family around you or your coworkers possibly. I think there is somewhat still a stigma surrounding hearing aids or hearing loss and just the whole concept that you're old if you have them. However, I've had contacts since I was 19, I think, so I was still pretty young when I got those, and my eyes went way before my ears did. And I didn't believe it. At the time I was 45 or something and thought for sure that the young generation of my teenagers were mumbling and that it was just there. I was trying to get them to enunciate more because I was missing the edges of their words. And I actually said I would go get my testing done to put this to bed, and I found out that I did have loss in high frequencies, I think it's called. And so I took that information home and chose to do nothing about it at the time because I really wasn't ready to deal with getting hearing aids. Once I became aware of it, which I did have a little denial at the front end because it just didn't occur to me that I couldn't hear. I just thought it was noisy or mumbling. But what I realized was I was missing something, and I wanted to get back into the game with the whole, full capabilities. After a year and I started paying more attention to that, I realized that I needed to maybe take care of this issue and decided that it was impacting me in my business. So, well, I am a real serious consumer. I spend a lot of time researching almost everything and anything I don't understand. I do a lot of reading about. I didn't even find hearingplanet right away, but I started thinking the model was backwards and kind of out of date, having to go to a doctor always first and go through this long process. And I just had a lot of questions, actually. And it's funny, I actually signed up at 2 or 3 different websites for someone to contact me. And it's amazing the number of places that won't even call you back when you give them your name and your phone number, your email. But I found the hearingplanet, and they called me, talked to Ken, who has been fabulous. He followed up with me. I had to reschedule because of an appointment that came up last minute, and he handled that very well. Well, one of the real benefits for me was that I had a lot more information on the front end. When I arrived at the audiologist, I felt like I'd had kind of a prep course on kind of what was going to happen, what I should expect, maybe some of the issues I should consider. I mean, I had no knowledge of hearing aids. I'm the first in my social group to get them, so I had no one to really ask questions about. And what was great was I actually said, so what are the key features? What are the differentiators on hearing aids? Why do why are there so many, and what do I really need to know? And they talked about the different channels, the more significant your loss, maybe the more channels you need to meet all the different frequencies you're losing, and battery size. And I was much more interested in maybe not the tiniest thing, because I don't want to change batteries every 3 days. But I wanted a balance between those two things. When Ken recommended to me the audiologist, it turned out her kids went to my kids' school. She's taken care of one of my good friends who's had hearing loss since she was a child. So a reputable, top of the line, person with a lot of experience. So Joanne was probably more than I expected, trying out hearingplanet and trying to figure out, was I really getting as good a service as somebody going through the traditional process, I guess. So no one has ever noticed it. Even people I told I was getting a hearing aid haven't noticed it. But occasionally they'll say, I just think I saw your hearing aid. And I'll go, oh yeah, it's almost invisible, isn't it? I mean, it's this small. It is tiny. We matched this little case over it with something to match my hair color. It's pretty simple. This little thing helps wedge it into place so it doesn't move around, and it's very comfortable. So it's pretty easy. It's easy to put in, and it doesn't take any time. So yeah, they're not any work. It's pretty much pop it in there and go. Actually, a lot of times I can't tell I have them in because depending on the environment, I used to be able to hear really well one-on-one in a small room where it was quiet, and then struggle a lot in restaurants, which I guess I like to eat out a lot because I do, and entertain, business clients and restaurants. So there I'm doing much better. I'm not as tired, I think, from trying to read people's lips. You're actually more relaxed listening to people. You're not straining to try to make sure you don't miss important information. So.